Hello, I'm Miguel Whittle, and I'm going to be working with visual effects on Premiere Pro and creating the gunshot effect. So I gave myself a 2 out of 10 for lack of knowledge on visual effects with Premiere Pro. So to help out, there was thankfully a book that was published by Adobe themselves, where it says that it can be a little overwhelming with the number of choices of effects you have. Thankfully, most of them, if not all of them, are linked in some way. So for instance, you have fixed effects, which are effects applied automatically when you add a clip to a sequence. There are 3 of them you can find in effects controls. Motion, which is to do with changing the rotation or movement of your clip. Then you have opacity, allowing you to control how opaque or transparent a clip is. And then time remapping, which slows down or speeds up, for instance. So it's to do with time and changing the speed of your clip. So with each video effect on Premiere Pro, there is at least one of 3 icons you will see next to the effect. So for instance, there is accelerated, which indicates that the effect can be accelerated by my graphics processing unit. 32-bit color means that the effect can be processed in 32 bits per channel, whereas YUV breaks down the video into a Y or luminance channel and 2 channels for color information. Now I decided to choose 1 out of 5 visual effects, and I decided to go for the gunshot one, where I pretended that 2 fingers of mine was a gun. And once I downloaded a clip that was a green screen video of a muzzle flash of a gunshot, I then used the effect Ultra key, which allowed for the green of my green screen to be removed. I did the same thing when I found later on a blood splatter green screen video as well. And once the Ultra key was done on my gunshot, I then changed the blend mode to linear dodge, which helped make the gunshot muzzle flash look a lot better. And then once I'd done the blood splatter and Ultra key on that, I went ahead and looked for also a YUV effect, because I used a accelerated effect with Ultra key. And I found that black and white, which made my clip look a lot more stylish. And then I found a 32-bit color effect with Luma key, which made the lighting on my black and white clip look a lot better. So for strengths and weaknesses, I used a workbook that was made and published by Adobe themselves. I also made sure to find and use visual effects that matched with my research, but I could have used more extensive research with the workbook, as well as look at more interesting and complex visual effects, as well as film more than just myself when doing the gunshot visual effect. Those weaknesses I plan to improve on for future learning and development, along with also perhaps continuing to use the workbook as well to improve my editing skills. And whilst I do want to look at more interesting and complex visual effects, I also still want to take a look at the 4 other fast and easy visual effects in Premiere Pro to see what I could quickly and easily create on Premiere Pro, and it would be a way to improve still my editing skills with visual effects on Premiere Pro. And here is the reference list. Thank you very much for watching.
Hello, my name's Jasmine. I'm doing color correction. So this is my level of performance. I rate myself a 3 out of 10. So what is color correction? Color correction is a technical process that fixes color problems to make footage look more natural as possible. Also makes the colors look clean, real, as the human eye would see them. This could be done by altering the color, contrast, exposure, and lots more. This is the book I also looked at. So the history of color wheels. The first color wheel was invented by Sir Isaac Newton in the 17th century, when he discovered visual spectrum of light. When Newton was experimenting, he decided to hold a prism of glass into the sunlight, which no one ever tried. He is the first to understand the rainbow when it reflects the white light with a prism that resolves in different colors: red, yellow, green, blue, and violet. When experimented, he discovered that secondary colors can be made by mixing primary colors. So I looked into the human eye. To understand the whole reason of color, you have to go back to the human eye. So the human eye works with the brain. They work together to create the light into color. The light represents the eye will transmit messages to the brain showing saturations of color. So the surface of object reflects more colors. So we go to different parts of the eye, how they see color. Firstly, you look at the back. The first tissue is called the retina. As you can see in the photo, the special cells are called rods and cones that live in the retina. These cells are the eye's lookouts. They also spotlight and let the brain know about it. So I looked at videos on color correction These are the two that I looked at to help me learn color correction to use on my own videos, photos, and be able to see how they work best. So after watching those videos, I thought it would be a good idea to practice color correction in Premiere Pro. This is my before and after. So what I did in Premiere Pro, I was looking back at the videos to help me guide me through the videos. So I started off with the white balance, and then I went over to the color wheels and changed the shadows and the midtones to make them obviously perfect, and then change the temperature as it was a little bit warm. Strengths of my research, I was able to look at books and videos to help me understand color correction into more detail. My weakness for my research is I could have looked at more than one book of the human eye. For that reason, I give myself a 6 out of 10. So into the future, I would like to be able to learn more into the theory side. This is my reference list.